Welcome to the Elite Life with Trisha and Kylie. This is where we'll teach you how to develop grit, give yourself grace, and succeed in real estate. So let's dive in.
What up, fam? Welcome to another episode of the Elite Life podcast with Kylie and Trish. She is sitting here thinking, why in the hell I can't take her anywhere? And today we are going to talk about summer vacation because we are halfway through. Just kidding. Are we? Kind of. And if you're anything like me, you're ready to leave your family on the side of the road, burn your house down, and start fresh in another state. I am so over having my kids in my face all day, and I love them. I love these little balls of joy so much that I want to preserve their life and send them to a daycare. So I know in your past, you have had the pleasure of hosting plenty of children throughout the years. And I just wanted to throw out some tips for parents, aunties, uncles, grandmas, anybody who is consistently dealing with a house full of friggin' people.
Yeah, absolutely. So on average, I usually have between 4 and 6 kids at my home.
While you were also trying to like change your own life.
Yes, while I was, yes. Because we billet kids for hockey, which means we bring kids from other states to live with us. And then when my sister was younger, she lived with us. And then me and Dave have plenty of children on our own. And then we just, somehow we just
continue to collect.
To collect children. So here are some great tips. Number one, first and foremost, I always gave them a daily schedule. And that may sound really crazy, but if you don't, first of all, we'd have a meeting at the beginning of the summer and it would be like, okay, Nikki and Anthony are in charge. They are the oldest. Trent, Angelina, you guys are listening. This is what the schedule looks like. If they say do it, you do it. And having resources and an actual schedule for the older kids to follow with the younger kids and setting actual expectations for them for the day is a game changer, because if you leave them to idle hands and idle time, they're going to do things like one time Anthony duct taped Trent to a chair. Which Trent never stops talking about. So it's really important that you give them some structure and some resources. So I would make a daily schedule, wake up, food prepped, right? So they're not sitting there eating literally pizza rolls every day for seven meals a day.
I mean, that sounds like a dream to me.
And to all kids. But I would have food prep. So there was already fruit cleaned. It was bagged. Lunches, dinners, all put into little containers so I spent Sunday making a menu for a week, having the food all ready. So all they had to do was pop it in the microwave or pop it on the table. This is what you're having every day for every meal. This is what you're doing from the time you wake up till the time you go to sleep, making your beds. You have to set expectations. If there aren't expectations and you leave a house full of kids to do whatever they want,
chaos.
Expect to come home to a mess. But if you set expectations of this is what I expect you to do, and if it gets too crazy, out of control, then one of them is going to tell on the other one. And
they do too.
Yeah. And so, you don't want the wrath of Mama Trish coming down on you.
No. Because you look pretty, but you can be scary.
I know, right? So having food prepped, setting a schedule, setting expectations, putting out resources. So this is going to sound kind of crazy to some parents, but I always made sure there was actually like a learning time during the day. Mm-hmm. So I bought flashcards. I had like books where they would practice their letters. And that also gives some accountability because I can see if you've practiced your letters in your books, right? Like I can see if you did your math facts. I can see if you wrote your Spanish words, right? And I know that there's people out there that are going to be like, oh my God, it's summer. Kids can be kids. Again, like let's put this in big picture. Do I want my kid to be uber successful because they spent 30 minutes a day practicing a foreign language or some multiplication tables? Or do I want them wandering around like a crazy person so that when they get older, they don't understand that there's structure and a schedule and all those things we struggle with as adults because we didn't get them when we were children, right?
And the thing to remember too is they just spent from September to the beginning or middle of June, having structure, having a schedule. You wake up, you get dressed, you eat breakfast, you go to school, you come home, you unpack your shit. Like, you know, so when summer hits and you take away their structure altogether, their whole world just got turned upside down. And again, perspective, you have to understand, most kids, their world is this big. For you who can't see, it's about the size of a tennis ball is their world. And so what might seem like a little thing to you, or might even seem like a nice thing to you of not having any structure, that's devastating to them, even if it's subconsciously. So like what we did this summer was that first week after school, it was a free-for-all. Ryan and I were just like, you know what? We're just going to let you sleep in a little bit, kind of like a little vacation. But the next week, we wake up, everybody's up by 8. Everybody's eating breakfast. I mean, and it's important for us too, so that we know what's going on. We're continuing to meal plan, like you said, and we're continuing to eat right and be a good example of having schedules and being respectful and making sure the things get done. So for all of those parents out there that you were just talking about, was like, let the kids be kids. Sure, they're going to go and play, but they're going to be awful humans if you don't give them what they need, which is structure and guidance, and continuing to do that.
Well, what I don't think a lot of people understand, and everybody's welcome to parent the way they want to parent, but you're not doing your kids any favors when you let them stay up super freaking late and then they sleep in all day. Because when they go to school, it is such a struggle for them to wake up early. And because, again, I always go back to science. Hello, science. We have circadian rhythms inside of us. And even as grown-ups, throughout your whole life, if you can set a schedule of, you know, I go to bed at this time, I wake up at this time, your body is better, your mind is clear, everything is better for you. Parents, you're not doing your kids any favors by letting them stay up all night and sleep all day and eat junk food. That's not kids being kids. That is you setting them up for failure. That is going to make things harder in their lives. When you let your kids eat whatever they want and go all crazy, guess what? They get overweight, they have diabetes. It makes it harder when they're grown-ups to try to get themselves back in order. Mm-hmm. You're not helping them. And I'm sorry. And I don't care who disagrees. Like, this is science.
We're going to get letters.
My opinion.
We're going to get some letters.
I don't care.
We're going to get some comments.
But I do get it. Because I thought that way before I actually really got into nutrition and science and sleep and health. I thought the same way.
Before you got into living?
Right. But then I realized, guess what? When my kids go to bed at 9 o'clock every night and they wake up every single morning at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. and they get that full 12 hours of sleep, they are happier. They are healthier.
More compliant.
They are more compliant. All of everybody's life runs better. So, perspective, right? So keep a schedule. Keep a schedule. It's good for everybody. Give them resources of things to do. Give them some expectations and set boundaries. Set them up for success by making things easier, having good, healthy food prepped for them, the day set up for them, and then give them something to look forward to. So guess what, guys? If you do great at all of these things for the whole week and you guys stay in order, on Sunday we'll go to the water park and just have an awesome day. Or on Sunday or this weekend we'll go camping. So give them something to look forward to, some little eyes at the end of the prize, or prize at the end of the rainbow, I should say, and say, if you guys are good during this time and you stick to your schedule, and like Angelina, we used to have a sticker chart. So every day she'd put a sticker on, brushed my teeth, made my bed, ate my vegetables, did these things, did my reading, and they had sticker charts. I'm a big person on sticker. We still use sticker charts today, and all of our kids are grown.
I think it's just your way. I think it's your way around being an adult who still enjoys collecting stickers.
But I like it. This is why I like it, because you can visually see all your wins. Yeah. And no matter what age you are, when you can see all of these wins and you see the accumulation of, we did 1,352 workouts this year. 1,352 times we said yes to being healthy, to being strong, to being happier. that's a lot. Whereas if you just say, like, I work out every day, that doesn't feel as big as we did 1,352 workouts,
Yeah,
right?
that's a lot.
So, like, really seeing those stickers and seeing those wins add up and seeing that greatness and seeing that accumulation of success is really great for kids and for adults. So, having that written out schedule so the kids can see, okay, it's this time, this is what we do next. Oh, it's this time, this is what we do next. And I will tell you, as a parent of a child with anxiety, Angelina has very, very high anxiety. And when she was younger, it was even higher. And all the time it's, well, what's next? Well, what's next? Well, what's next? Well, what's next? And this fear of what's next, or this unknown. And when you take away that unknown and you lay out, this is what's next, and they can just go and look at it and see, this is what my day looks like. It gives them this feeling of control, of calmness. They don't have to wonder what's next. They don't have to like try to figure it out. It helps the older kids because then it's not this like power struggle between the older kids and the younger kids. And then it makes it so I can come home and they can feel successful. Like, hey mom, look, we did all of our things. We got all of our stickers. Or I did, now I do a dry erase board for Angelina. Angelina's 12 and I still have a dry erase board because kids will forget. And then we go, why aren't you doing this? And they go, because I forgot. And you're like, well, how could you forget? Dude, just write it down for them.
Yeah.
Like if we can all just remember, right? As humans in general, everybody is doing the best they can with what they have. Kids, parents, strangers, neighbors, everybody, like the world is just a better place.
So let's run through really quickly to wrap this up some things that I jotted down on how I wrote tips for summer survival. So my first one is enjoy it, right? So you have to understand that like unless you're putting them in a day camp, unless you're putting them in a daycare, they're going to be home. So you have to enjoy it. So again, make time to enjoy it. Make time to spend time with them. Make sure that they understand that they can look forward to spending time with you this afternoon when they get home, when you get home, if they've got their room clean, if they do all the things. So make sure that you enjoy it. The kids will only be this age once. Like I'm going to only have one summer where Kaya's 6 and Casey's 8 and Everett's 1. Like there are going to be things that happen in this age group that aren't going to ever happen again. So, I mean, next year, Casey could not want to play Barbies or not want to pretend to be mermaids at the lake. And that's something that I, as a 34-year-old woman, still like to do. So I'm going to take advantage of that. Make some memories, be present. So even if it's just 15 minutes, 20 minutes at the dinner table, put the damn phone away, like turn it off, turn the TV off, quiet any of that extra, white noise that goes on in our lives that I feel like gives us all sensory overload, which is a whole nother episode. So be present and be there. And then, finding somewhere else to work. This is where I always get caught up because, my office is literally the corner of our living room and I have nowhere else to put our stuff because there's 5 of us in a 2-bedroom house and that's just our life right now. And that's fine. But you need to find somewhere else to work. If you are not able to focus at home, go sit in the car, go sit at the Starbucks, go to the library. Usually you can rent rooms at the library, go to your office if it's not far, go to your mom's, talk to your neighbors, find somewhere else where you can work, where you can plug into the Wi-Fi. You can make some phone calls without having Encanto going on in the background and people are like, who's Bruno? And you're like, don't mind. So that's tip number 2. And that's crucial for me. Like I'm still struggling with that. So again, you're totally not alone. And the last one, it seems to be our recurring theme for this month, is perspective. It's all about how you look at it. So if you're like, damn, I've got to get these kids outside. I have to get them outside or they're going to go crazy. They have to get their wiggles out. Take them for a walk, hand them some door hangers and say, let's see who can hand out more, who can hang more doors as we walk. So, and you walk down the street and they just, and now your face is all over the neighborhood. Your kids have gotten their energy out. They're ready to go home, have a PB&J, watch a movie and take a nap. So make sure you include them in the things that you're doing. Or my least favorite thing to do is kids' birthday parties. I can't tell you how many birthday parties I said no to because I don't want to go and supervise. And for all you people just dropping your kids off at strangers' house, y'all are crazy. Look at it as an opportunity to network, meet new people, and hand out business cards. That's what I do now. Any event that I'm looking at and I'm like, shit, I don't want to go do this. I say, you know what? Here's 10 business cards. They're going in my pocket. I'm not leaving this party until they're all handed out and everybody knows what I do and what I can do for them.
And wear your Elite Realty gear when you go.
Oh yeah, that's why I've stolen every single shirt that I go into Trisha's closet and I'm like, I need this and I need this and I need this and this and this. So that is what we have brought for you today. I hope it gave you some fire and some some grace and understanding that life is going to be chaotic. Things are always going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is what you can do. So thanks for joining us today. We love you all. Drop a comment. Tell us you enjoyed it. Tell us you hated it. We're just going to ignore that anyways. And share this because you never know who's listening. You never know who needs a pick-me-up, who needs just that word of grace, that word of encouragement, which I think we brought today.
Yeah. And grab some of these tips and put them into play for your family and let us know how it went. I'd love to hear some feedback, how these things go when you integrate them in your life.
Yeah. If you're not leaving a comment, you can email me at Kylie, Kylee, at mystarsacademy.com. And don't forget to come back next time for more grit, grace, and friggin' life shit.
Woo!
We thank you so much for joining us today on the Elite Live with Trish and Kylie. Be sure to share the episode with a friend so we can continue bringing you more great tips on grit, grace, and real estate. You can also connect with us on Instagram, Facebook. We hope the ideas we share continue to help you build an empire and leave a legacy.